This is a disaster for the Bulls in dropping 5 of the last 6 games without Giddey, White, or Collins, running into the East leading Pistons, who were depleted, that found a way to knock us around, dropping us to 6-5 while on our road trip with a much easier schedule coming for us ahead. Welcome to Bulls Digest, everybody. It's not a fun night tonight, but the good news is our road loosens a little bit ahead. We started with the most difficult schedule. If anyone said, hey, would you take 6-5 starting with the schedule we had? Everyone would say 100% yes. But that is not still good enough for what we want. Before we get started, please do make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. We're noticing only 32.5% of you who are stopping by are hitting that subscribe button. You're going to want to stay up to date on all things Chicago Bulls, and we will make sure you guys are in the know. Let's get started. This was a winnable game because they had 5 of their starters out. This is one of those things where you just have to understand Cunningham, who's been playing out of his mind ever since. This is a tale of 2 different teams. The Pistons team that undershot and was not shooting well when we met them at the UC. This was not the Pistons teams that just ripped off 8 straight. Cunningham has been playing great. Jalen's been playing great. They were all sitting out tonight, so this was a winnable game. I know we got no Giddey. I know we got no Kobe, and I definitely know we don't have Zach. But this is a winnable. These are winnable games, and they jumped on us from Jump Street, and it was very frustrating because we are better than that. We are going to be better than this. This is just. We started out on that rocket ride, magic carpet ride, and I told you guys before, enjoy those things while you can because they don't last, and it didn't. But now we have to pull up our big boy pants and get ready to work, and that's what we're ready to do. So we dropped the game tonight, 124 to 113. If you look in quarter 1 and 2, that was the name of the game. I'm going to show you some stats later. They shot the lights out, man. They were in the first half, they were shooting 60% from the field. That's going to do it every time. I don't care who you are. I don't care, even in the playoffs. If you're shooting 60 and north, you're going to take care of your business. That's exactly what they did. That's exactly how it worked, and that's exactly what happened. So there are some good news. So the bad news is we dropped the game, and we're 6-5. The good news is our schedule loosens up. I'm going to break that all down, and it's actually a good thing because we need to get our guys healthy, and we need to start working. And do not despair, Bulls fans. This is a watchable team. This is a very watchable team. Probably the only loss that we have is the Bucks loss, and that was really hard to take because when you think about the Bucks loss, we were just blown out from get-go, and this is different. We keep clawing back. We clawed our way back in this game, but I'm just going to show you some quick stats. In the first half, the Pistons shot the lights out of it, which means our defense is getting weaker. We need our defense to step up. That's not going to cut it. Our turnovers, not so much, but that's still an extra 4 points that you leave on the deck. Can't do that. And we were out-rebounded in the first half. But if you look at that 60.5%, 61% from the field, that's why the Pistons jumped on us. That's why they took the early lead. That's why it all happened. That's the problem. You got to play defense on the road, guys. I know you have no Josh, and I know you have no Kobe, and I know we have no Zach, but we actually hung around with the Spurs with the same lineup. You should be able to hang with that. That was a bad showing. You got to understand that. Now, the tail of the tape, when Mattis is the one who's outscoring everybody, and you see that we had some good production, I think Jalen Smith is having some solid production. I think Trey Jones is having some solid production. I like where we're at as far as being able to do this. We just need a core of superstars to distribute the ball, and I need those assists up. But who is the mark here that I don't like to see? Dalen Terry, 1 point in 10 minutes. That's brutal. But Vooch, 6 points, man. That is horrible. That is horrible. You're playing a depleted Pistons team on the road. You should be scoring in the paint like it's free candy at Halloween. That is horrible. Vooch took the night off, bud. You took the night off, and you can say it. You got to be objective, and you got to be honest here. That is no bueno, and that's not going to make it happen. I don't like to see that, and that's a terrible thing. So when you look at the Pistons, they've ripped off 8 straight games. They're the top of the East, and now, you You can see that they think they're the powerhouse. Remember, guys, this is a marathon, not a sprint. Do you remember when we were ripping and cruising and doing well? Well, we just lost those. We just ripped off. What is it? 5 of 6 where we lost. So there's room for improvement for everybody. And I can just tell you, the NBA giveth, the NBA taketh away, and you will watch it happen throughout the entirety of this season. Good on the Pistons. That's a winnable game on the road, especially with them being depleted, and we completely did not show up tonight. But the good news is we have something that's very important. We have a strength of schedule that's coming. But before we do that, this was a great question they asked, and I did like this because I'm a Detroit guy. I think Detroit's cool. When's the last time the Pistons were number 1 and the Lions were number 1 in the NFC North at the same time? I'd have to grab my stat sheet. I have no clue. Not a clue. Because I still remember when the Lions were, I think a dude got a tattoo when they were 0-4 one year, and he's a Lions fan. So I think he would be able to tell you that stat more than I would. But the good news for us is we have a schedule for this 4-game road trip. That's nice, but we have a schedule that's coming up that I think is very favorable to us. So if you look at it, Bulls schedule, the next 11 teams that we face, 9 of them, listen, 9 of them are 500 or below. Right now, I think the only 500 team that I'm seeing is the Trailblazers, and everybody else is below. So Nuggets, they're looking pretty smooth right now. And I also have to say the Heat are trying to make their rise and step up. So if you flip a coin and we have full health on our team because Kobe's going to be coming back. We're going to drop some videos on that and explain a lot more of when his timetable is. But if you look at that, that's a really good sign for us right now because you basically have 9 teams that are 500 or below. We can make some hay. We just went through the gauntlet of our schedule and we came out 6-5. Bad, bad, bad when we had 2 or 3 games that are winnable and we coughed it up in the fourth quarter. So a lot of work to do. I think we all objectively see that and we all know that we have to. But the good news is the schedule is starting to loosen for us, and that is a positive thing. So as Bulls fans, you've got to make sure we pay attention to the facts and the stats. And the stats are our schedule is going to loosen up for us, and that's to our advantage. So stay with us for these next these games. Stay with us for all things Bulls up to date, and we will keep you informed. Before you leave, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button because we want to make sure that you guys stay with us, and we're grateful for you because, as I always say, without you, there's no us. I'm so grateful for you, and we're happy. And just make sure to remember, it's a marathon, not a sprint. We got a lot of work to do. Let's go Bulls.